Hello everybody, this is Ben, and today I'm going to show off this beauty. And this thing is a 3 wide by 3 long by 4 block tall, fully automatic brewing station. All you have to do is load in 4 ingredients into these droppers. Loading glass bottles, there are water bottles at the top here. And this machine will brew for you advanced splash potions without any more input from you. Now, I did this as a challenge to see how compact I could get a brewing station. It certainly is not the most practical brewing stations. So, some of the tricks I used here. So, this one, for example. Let me get rid of that for now. So, you probably know that a comparator going into a dropper dispenser will cause it to trigger. But it's also true if the comparator is pointing towards the dispenser, even if it isn't actually touching it. So this continues to fire rapidly, even though this isn't even on the same plane. If we move it over here though, it doesn't fire. It only fires if it's pointing. You could also not there. You could also have it one away on the same plane, and it triggers it as well. So that's good to know if you are trying to make ultra compact contraptions. Now, another thing about this is if your dispenser is empty, it's rather annoying. It makes that clicking sound. But if you have something like the brewing station that has a specific output, in this case it can only accept bottles, then you can put a non-bottle in this and it won't make the sound because it's not empty. Yeah, it will still be able to fire out bottles. So we're going to use that over here. So in order to be as compact as possible, this design uses a day-night sensor. You could just hook this up to a regular clock if you wanted this to be faster. Now, this could be a repeater or a comparator, but it can't be a wire or else it will stop this hopper from working, which we don't want it to do. Okay. So one of the reasons why a brewing station that small can be made is because droppers and dispensers firing into item hoppers are pretty predictable. You'll see in a second here. Okay. I think that's correct. Yep. So I like to use wool for this. I'm going to put wool in each of these so I can test how consistent the system is. So you see we go blue, red, purple, and yellow. Blue, red, purple, yellow. Blue, red, purple, yellow. Blue, red, purple, yellow. Blue, red, purple, yellow. So you see it's incredibly consistent. I've never had this screw up on me and deliver, the sugar before the nether warts. So now that we know that blue comes first, then red, then purple, then yellow, we can put the ingredients in that order here. So let me get my item frames. Here, let's grab our ingredients. So our first one is blue. So blue is going to be nether warts. So the next one is red. Red's going to be sugar. Now, gunpowder and redstone can be put in any order, though I prefer to have my third ingredient be redstone. And my fourth to be gunpowder. Just trim that date so we can see here the finished product when it turns night it dispenses and starts brewing. So this is almost fully functional. We now just have to deliver the glass bottles here. So to do that, I just take a hopper, now I like using a double chest for potion, for water bottles, because they don't stack, so you can fit a lot more in a double chest than you could in a dropper. So if we drop in 3, we should have our ingredients. Obviously that turned night while we were filling out our ingredients, so let's just grab a glue or a gunpowder here and throw that in there. And why aren't you triggering? Okay, so oh, those are awkward potions. Now let's grab some more moss from here. You can see we have splash potions finished here, and when this turns day, they'll get dumped in here. For some reason this triggered oh, it's because I removed that torch there. Okay, yeah, that's ruined. Well, that's done, so we can turn this to day, so we can see. Turn this to day. That gets drained out into there. So, let's grab some more bottles, water bottle, water bottle. Night, let's check it out. Hopefully there's nothing here. Okay. So if we turn this night, see it's filled up. We have the nether warts and sugar, redstone, and glowstone. And the same thing here. Sugar, redstone, glowstone, and then nether warts and the bottles. So this is complete. But there's quite a bit of extra room here. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks still available for additional stuff. So what you can do is you can put in a water source here. So you can fill up your bottles without having to go anywhere. You can replace this and this with a crafting table and a furnace to smelt your glass for your bottles. You just have to shift click to put redstone on top of these. I also like to add a note block. You know, make it more aesthetically pleasing. If you do this on a timer or have it hooked up to only brew when this chest is near empty, then you could also add a indicator here using a sticky piston and any kind of flag you want. We'll go with orange wool. So this will be extended when it's brewing and retract when it's done brewing. So it's done brewing here, it should be done over here as well. Turn it today, and we can see they label those. You can see they get dumped out here. Oh, and this works because this dropper is being triggered by this torch here, and that torch shuts off this hopper. So this will dispense into here, and this won't drain until that torch gets turned off. So either you're loading in or you're taking out, but you can't do both. Now, I used the day-night cycle sensor because I wanted to keep this 3x3x4. But if you wanted to expand this, you can make an easy clock. Really, any clock that does 30 seconds increments. Sorry, about a minute increment for brewing potions will do. ETHO came out with a very nice clock using hoppers and pistons. It's 5 wide by 2. So I couldn't use it for this design because I only had 3 wide to work with, but you could yeah, that worked. You could use it here. So one more out. Centered, yep, it's gonna be centered. Dust, and you want sticky piston here, oops, that has to be one more out. And this, and you can get rid of that and put in dust. And let's actually fill this up with water bottles before we begin. It's going to go down through here and fill into here. So I find 60 items in one of these clocks will give you about perfect brewing cycle. So we heard the milk block go off there. And if we had our flag, That would extend to show that this is currently brewing. So if you had a line of these, say in a brewing room, and you can see there, failed for some reason. Set the clock. Maybe on a line of those you'd be able to see which one's brewing by the fly that's going off. See if this is going to work now. I want to do that. So really the only issue I came across is getting this whole thing set up and working nicely. Once you get all the bugs out of it, it works pretty much autonomously. I wonder why that's doing that. Must be wrong with this clock. So you could hook up a sensor to detect when this is empty and have it run this continuously using a timer. So this isn't a very practical design for your world, but I thought it was an interesting challenge to build something as compact as possible. And I learned quite a bit about how comparators and various things work, so I think I'll be able to improve my more serious designs in my own world through this. For example, over here I'm working on a more elaborate and overly complex design with item elevators and automatic sorting and everything basically being automated, so I can just pick it up and go. And this is basically the same thing here. It's just a upward facing dropper that you feed in water bottles, and then your 4 components. In this case, they're arranged vertically and they'll drop into the hopper in this order. So That is another way, instead of doing this design here, to put items into an hopper in the order. Getting messed up. You can do it vertically instead, which is good if you have tall ceilings, I guess. Now, another advantage here is that these sides are open, so you can actually feed hoppers in each of these, so you can have an automatic sorting station up above here, or you can even make this your floor here. For the half slabs. No, but half slabs. And then just put chests. And now this be your input. Gunpowder. You can just put your gunpowder in there. And then all you have to do is transport your finished potions up to the top here. And this can all be underground. And here are some failed tries I had with the minecart or other configurations. This turned out to be the best, most compact, and most elegant way of putting 4 items in a certain order. It does work. This has run continuously since I built it, and I have yet to have a problem with it, so once you get it up and running so it works and don't touch it again, it continues producing forever. You just have to fill these up whenever they run out. You're good to go. So I hope this has inspired you to get out and try to make your own brewing station. They're not that hard to build. They're actually quite easy. You can see here they're not even all that. Well, they are kind of resource intensive because you have to use some iron to make your droppers and your stuff, but overall they don't take up that much space. They work beautifully. I mean, look at all that splash goodness there. And it's fun to figure these things out, So, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and see you next time. Okay, I'm an idiot. When I did my tests, I was timing 1 cycle, but you need to put in about 3.5 stacks for the full 4 cycle it takes to brew 1 potion. So this is 215 items. But now this works. So this will run long enough to brew a complete potion and dump it off into this chest here. I also went and added a comparator to this so that this clock only runs when there's 4 spaces in the chest. And I just set this by putting a sine wave signal in that's offset by 2. This comparator being powered doesn't affect these droppers because it's not directly powering them. So if we remove 3, you can see that turned off because now this strength is not as much as this one coming in. That caused this to shift over. This extended the flag, so you get the flag out now. This hopper is now draining into this one over here. I'll put a link in the description for Etho's video where he explains and builds these. It's very good, very useful. And this is now brewing our potions for us. And this timing isn't exact. I overshot a bit so that I would make sure I didn't wind up with any bad potions, basically. Because if things get left in these hoppers, it's gonna mess everything up. It's not basically gonna mess everything; it is gonna mess everything up. So we're coming to the end of the gunpowder. So now these are completely brewed. These get deposited in. We now have less than 4 spaces open, so this goes back on, shuts this whole clock off. This is draining back in. The other thing I don't like about these clocks are they take as long to dump in as they do to reset, so it takes twice as long to brew potions as if you were to use a piston clock or something like that. We can see the flag is retracted, and you could imagine if you had a hallway of these, you would easily be able to tell what's brewing and what's not brewing by the flag being extended. So, yep, I'm an idiot, but this does work. It is compatible with this, and this is how you can set up your system to only brew when you have 4 when you need to. So this should start another cycle now that I've removed these. Well, let's put them back actually, just to show this in action. So now this isn't going to brew. Shut down. We remove 4. Turns on, flag extends, and we're now brewing again. So, okay.